Right, that is. Um,
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today with the Columbus Urban League's Minority Business Assistance Center. I am Rosita Torres, one of three certification and outreach specialists for the MBAC program. And today we wanted to present to you all the certification bootcamp, which will provide information regarding the certification process from the state of Ohio to certify for-profit businesses in the areas of minority owned, women owned, EDGE certified, as well as veteran friendly. Um, Next slide. To give you some details regarding our program, as stated earlier, we are um, provided resources from the state of Ohio through their Department of Development, and we are housed at the Columbus Urban League that is on Mount Vernon Avenue. Not only do we provide resources to assist you through the certification process, we also provide collaboration efforts between you and your business, as well as our resources and other community partners and organizations within the area. I like to bring on at this time our financial coach, Ms. Heather Landon. She will be speaking to you on one of the many benefits of certification through capital access.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Um, I am here to just share a little bit about access to capital with you. Can you put the presentation back up?
one moment, everything just kicked me off.
Well, I will just kind of run through things while we're getting that presentation back up. So there are 4 loans that go directly through the state's program, the Ohio Department of Development's Minority Business Development Division. And so I'm going to touch base on those 4 programs and then a few others that the state works with to support lending with your financial institution, as well as a couple other things. So the first one is the Ohio Minority Business Direct Loan Program. That program provides funding for minority certified businesses up to $1.5 million. The minimum loan amount is 45,000, excuse me. That loan project can be used for buildings, machinery, equipment, purchases, a multitude of things for your business. It is not eligible for working capital. The rate on that is 1.5%. The term would vary depending on the project or what it's being used for. So if you're not certified, you would definitely want to get certified to have access to that loan program. Before I move on to this next one, I just kind of also want to share that your credit, personal credit is not pooled for any of these loan programs directly through the state. So there would be no credit history requirement involved for the 4 loans that I'm going to speak with you initially on. The next loan program is the Women's Business Enterprise Loan Program. This program is the only one where you do not have to have certification. So if you are a woman-owned business and you do not have a certification with the state, you still are eligible to apply for this loan. The rate for the loan would be the only differentiation if you were certified or not. If you are certified, your rate is 1.5. If you're not certified, your rate is 3%. Rosita, did you have a question? Okay. So the loan minimum for this is also 45,000. The maximum is up to 500,000. These 2 loan programs do require a third-party financial institution to support the request. The loan programs through the state would support up to 75% of these dollar amounts. You as a business owner would supply 10% of the cash equity injection, and then a financial institution or third party would support the additional 15% of the loan request. The next loan is our Ohio Microloan Program. This program is only for certified minority or women-owned businesses. This program can refinance refinance debt, along with the Women's Business Enterprise Loan Program. So these two are eligible for refinancing debt. The Ohio microloan is the only one that's eligible for working capital. The other two do not have a working capital function to them. So if you are interested in having access to lending for working capital, this would be your loan through the state. This loan is $10,000 up to $45,000 at 0%. The next program is the Ohio Minority Business Bonding Program. This program is used for businesses who would need bonding for their contracts. This provides a surety bond up to $1 million. You do need to be certified as a minority-owned business, and there's a 2% injection for that. The next program is the Ohio Capital Access Program. This program is one that is in conjunction with a financial institution. So this loan is not directly through the state. The state is used to support a request from your financial institution. This one is also eligible to be a working capital loan. So if you have a need for working capital, you could utilize this loan for that as either a loan or a line of credit at your financial institution. It can also be used for land, building, machinery, or equipment, inventory, and payroll. If it is a working capital loan request, that maximum is $250,000, and for any of the other items, it's $350,000. The rate and term would be determined by your financial institution. So everything would directly go through your financial institution. They would also most likely pool your credit and in the case of utilizing this program. The next program is the Small State Business Credit Initiative. So this program essentially was funding that was approved through the Department of Treasury to help support small businesses throughout the United States. Ohio received $52.4 million in their funding, and that allows them to help support socially and economically disadvantaged businesses as well as very small businesses. One of the ways that this funding works is it allows us to help support your business with accounting and attorney needs. So there are certain items that you could get assistance with from your accountant or an attorney that is part of our client vendor referral program. And we could support the cost of those services with those resources. The next program is the Collateral Enhancement Program. This is also a loan program that deals directly with financial institutions. So it would have everything from an underwriting requirement, the same as the Ohio Capital Access Program. This program is eligible for all businesses. You do not need to be certified as a minority, women, or veteran-owned business to have access to this, but everything would go through your bank. So your bank would be the one to utilize this program to help support a loan request. This program can be used for a multitude of sources or uses, so reach out to your banker to learn more about that. The last one is the Community Developmental Financial Institutions Loan Participation Program, otherwise known as CDFIs. There are several financial institutions, CDFIs here locally that we would refer you to help support from lending perspective to your business. So if you were not eligible for one of the state programs just yet because maybe you haven't been in business long enough, we would work with one of our local CDFIs such as ECDI or Freedom Equity to help support your loan request. And I believe I am going to share some numbers here with you. So this is just a recap of the program funding that has been injected into our economy here locally. And so I'm going to just wait for the rest to get up here. Each of those are broke down by the number of entities that received funding and the dollar amounts. So our total impact since inception of this program to September of last year, I believe, is over $45 million. So we really want to make sure that you guys understand and have access to these funds. So from there, I'm going to turn it back to Rosita, I believe.
Thank you so much, Heather. And yes, everyone, so she definitely provided a lot of information regarding, like I said, one of the many benefits of certification, which is to become eligible for many of those programs for lending access. So now we'll discuss exactly what the certifications are, qualifications, and the requirements in order to become certified. So to start, we have the Minority Business Enterprise Certification. This is for for-profit businesses that have been operating for at least a year, that have 51% ownership from a minority-owned individual. And the minority categories would be African or African American, Latino or Hispanic, Asian American, or Native American. For the EDGE certification, this also is for those that qualify with 51% ownership. EDGE stands for Encouraging Diversity, Growth, and Equity. And the requirement or the qualification for this certification would be that you either reside in a hub zone, which we would be able to discover through your the zip code for your residence, or that you have a personal net worth that is less than 750,000. And that would have to be for the 51% ownership. So if that 51% is more than one individual, then the threshold would have to still be below the 750,000. Next up, we have the Women Business Enterprise, and this is again for for-profit businesses that have been operating for at least a year, that have at least 51% ownership by women individuals. And lastly, we have the Veteran-Friendly Business Enterprise. This particular certification, you would either be a 51% owner that has veteran status, or that 10% of your employees have veteran status. To continue with the benefits for these certifications, like I said, the lending programs are available, but then you also have very beneficial procurement opportunities that come along with these programs. So, for example, the minority business enterprise, for any entity that receives government funding for special projects, they are required to spend at least 15% of those funds with minority owned businesses. So, the certification of being a minority owned business will kind of give you an upper hand in bidding on those projects. When it comes to the EDGE certification, there is a 5% goal to spend government funds with EDGE certified businesses. And for the most part, that particular goal goes beyond, above and beyond what that set aside was. And then lastly, the veteran friendly enterprise certification would allow you to receive benefits from all 50 states if it requires a veteran certification from your business. Thank you. Next slide. And at this time, I would like to bring on my colleagues, both Kathy Armstrong Sapp and Madison Lloyd, to discuss the documentation that is required for the certification process. Ladies?
Yes, good afternoon. I'm Kathy Armstrong Sapp. I will be talking about the first page of certification documents that are required for MBE, EDGE, and WBE certification. The first one is your eligibility into the program. So we're asking that you provide a passport or birth certificate or certificate of naturalization. So one of those three we will accept, and then everyone must fill out an affidavit. And certificate or naturalization, and then everyone is required to fill out an affidavit. And the reason why is because after 1970, proof of race is no longer on birth certificates, and proof of race is no longer, has never been on passports. So we're asking everyone to do an affidavit, and that affidavit will be provided to you by us through the Department of Development. Next, we will have the last year's state of Ohio taxes. Everyone is to prepare and send us their 2023 state of Ohio taxes. The state of Ohio taxes is to let us know that you are a resident of Ohio. So everyone is to provide that 2023. After April 15th, then we'll start looking at 2024 taxes. But currently right now, we're looking at 2023. Number 3, bank signature card or letter from the bank. We're not asking for your bank card or anything like that. We're looking for who has signature authority on your bank account. So when you started the account, there is a card that you sign who has signature authority on it. Or if you don't have that, you can go to the bank and they will provide you with a letter and letting you know who has signature authority, and it has to be on their company business letterhead. Number 4, we're asking for the personal federal taxes for the last 3 years. So because it has not been April 15th, so we're looking at 2023, 2022, and 2021. We're looking for your federal taxes. And with those taxes, we're wanting all documents. Please do not pull anything out of it. We need all those documents included. With that being said, that would also include your business taxes for number 5. But along with that, on number 4, we're looking for your W-2s and 1099s for those years as well. If you are married, we're asking for the spouse's 3 years of taxes, federal taxes as well. When we go down to 6, 7, and 8, which I'm going to skip over 6, 7, and 8 because we're going to go back to Heather, and Heather will come back as our financial coach and speak on those. So we're going to go down to number 9. Number 9 is the facility lease or ownership of the documentation. What we're looking for is, where is the business located? If the business is located out of your home, whether you're renting or buying, we're looking for your rental agreement or we're looking for the warranty deed. So whichever one that you are, we're looking for those documents to be submitted in your package. Next, number 10 is loans or security agreements, including bonding and company and personal promissory notes. So if your company has any loans, bonding, personal promissory notes, we're asking for a copy of those. This is one of 2 documents that if it's not applicable to you, you can submit a business letterhead with this and saying, this is not applicable to you because the company or yourself has never inquired a loan at all. So this is one of 2. Number 11 is equipment list, including vehicles and associate title documents. So with this one here, we're asking for all equipment to be listed. And this is one that we get a lot of times, is saying that I don't have equipment because stuff has already been in the home. We're only asking you for a list. So you do have a desk, you have a chair, you have a computer, printer, laptop, cell phone, anything that helps your business run. But if you have other equipment that are large equipment, we're looking for those pieces of equipment listed too. If you're using your vehicle more than 50% of the time, you can list your vehicle as well. And then if you're a truck driver and you got trucks, we're looking for those titles for those documents as well. Number 12, list of subcontractors. If you're using any subcontractors who's doing work for you, we're looking for a list of those subcontractors, and we want that on business letterhead too. And we're just asking for a list of those. We're not asking for a whole detail of information, just a list of who your subcontractors are. If not, then who are your suppliers? Where do you buy your supplies at? Who are your suppliers? Where are you getting your supplies from? Again, we're asking for just a list of those. Then if number 12 is 2 of 2, if you do not have that, that is the other document that you can put on business letterhead saying that number 12 does not apply, and then state that you don't use subcontractors and your business doesn't use suppliers. Then my last item I'm going to talk about is number 13. Your 2 largest contracts signed contracts. If you do not have signed contracts, we're looking for invoices, purchase orders, receipts showing us that you've been in business at least a year. So we're looking at going back at least a year and pulling something at least 3 or 4 if you're using invoices and receipts and like that. But if it's a contract, we're only looking for the 2 largest. Now, your largest could be only $500. Your largest could be $100. We're just looking to find out what contracts have been signed within a year. I am getting ready to turn this over to Heather, and she will do 6, 7, 8, and then switch over to the next page and then finalize it by Madison for the rest. Thank you.
Right. Thanks, Miss Kathy. So to go back up to some of the check item lists on here. These are all financial documents that they're looking for to help support the to just help support that you are in business. So they are going to ask for a balance sheet, a cash flow statement, and a profit or loss income statement. So number 6 is the balance sheet. The balance sheet basically just tells the wealth of your business. So it's going to explain any assets or debts that you have. So you can think about it as what you own versus what you owe. You would want to complete that as fully as possible. They may ask for 2 years worth of the balance sheet. So you would want to go back and calculate that information. The next one is the cash flow statement. So this is essentially what has been happening in your bank account for your business or your credit cards for the last 12 months. It's going to be a 12-month historical look back in terms of how much revenue have you been producing and income that's been coming into your business versus the expenses that you've paid on a monthly basis. And then the last one is the profit and loss statement. That statement is the health of your business. So the balance sheet is the wealth, tells you what you're worth. The profit and loss tells you if your business is profitable or not. So ultimately, what's included in this document are the sales that you incurred for your business, as well as all of the expenses that you incurred for your business. If you do have an accounting software, these 3 reports can be pulled from that accounting software, such as QuickBooks or Wave apps. If you do not, we have forms that I'm able to help you with. And there's also a YouTube video that will go over all of these documents that I'm referencing right now. On the next page, the personal net worth statement is essentially the wealth of you. So anything that you own or owe will go on this document. And if you are married, for this certification, you would also need your spouse to complete this document. Do not duplicate items from your statement to their statement. If it's shared accounts, you would just split that equally or put it all on one person's and not on the others. You wouldn't want to duplicate it because then it would show the state that you have double what you have. The next one is the Edge Company Value Worksheet. Ultimately, this takes the cash flow that you've had historically, and we would work together to determine what the future cash flow of your business might be. So if you have any new projects or ways of creating income for your business over the next 5 years, we would want to take that into consideration, as well as any expenses in terms of how much your cash flow would increase over the next 5 years. And I believe that I'm going to turn it over to Madison now.
Hi, everybody. I'll be going over the required documents for partnerships. If you have a partnership, if you're a corporation or an LLC. So the first document that we would need is a partnership agreement. And this is basically going to outline the terms and conditions of your partnership within your business. And it's going to specify the legal structure and the roles and responsibilities of each partner. We'll also need a resume to be included with that for your documents. And then moving on to corporations, there's a stock certificate, and this serves as evidence for the ownership of within the company. And it's required that you provide both sides of that. We also require a stock journal or a ledger, and this is a record-keeping document to track ownership as well as your resume. For the LLC companies, we need a unit certificate and a unit journal or ledger, and our department has those 2 documents that we can provide for you to fill those out along with a resume. I think I headed over to Hope.
Thank you. Just quickly, I wanted to explain that the MBAC department is a center that is spread out through the state of Ohio. Our particular Columbus region MBAC center covers 18 counties. As you can see here in this kind of blue centralized area, this is the location. These are the locations that we cover. We have great partnership in the Appalachian area where we have the services from AceNet to collaborate with and assist through certification and lending resources for those within that area. And then, of course, we travel to all of the other counties that we service to provide the same information so that those small business areas can receive the resources that are in need. So next up, we want to bring on one of our newer team members, Miss Hope Jackaway. She is our procurement specialist, and she will be discussing some information regarding procurement opportunities here at the MBAC Center. And before she does, just to let you know that we also offer technical assistance. So there's some additional resources coming from your MBAC office, such as marketing as well as legal assistance. So stay tuned to our newsletter, which we'll discuss later on where you can get that information. But for now, I'd like to turn it over to Hope to discuss some more details regarding contracting. Thank you.
Excuse me. Thank you, Rosita. So my role with MBAC will be out on the streets, as I say, looking for opportunities for your business so that you can get those bids, sharing those bids with you, making sure that you have a chance to bid on things that are coming through the state, city, individual, private companies. Next slide, please. As the And again, I will be working to connect you with strategic partners so that you have those opportunities. The goal is to help guide you as you are using your certification on those bids and other opportunities that's come through. And then also being a support for you and buyers. So any corporations or the state or anyone that is looking for suppliers, I'm here to be that, excuse me, sort of the middleman to support both of you. And as you look to grow your business, please reach out to us so that we can help you through that supplier development process. And then I will turn it over to, excuse me, Danielle for our question and answer period.
Yes, so at this time, I know that we had some hands raised, and I do show that there is a question from Danielle Leitner in the chat. If anyone else has any questions, feel free to enter them in the chat, and we'll be able to get to those. So Danielle asks, will any of these be affected by the new administration's executive order regarding DEI? With that recently taking place, we haven't received any updates on how our program would be affected by it just yet. Should there be any effect that would need to be announced, we will definitely do so through either our social media or most importantly, our newsletter that goes out weekly. And then I'm sure that the Department of Development will also be making those announcements via their channels. So at this time, although that executive order has been issued, we don't have any updates of any changes with our program. Yes, so we will be having contact information provided momentarily regarding how you would be able to get assistance from us, and then also start with your own certification and or lending process. So that information will come up in the next few slides. Michelle asks, is there anyone who can speak on social enterprising? So one of our employees, one of our team members, Cherie Wallace, is joining us at this time. She's just not on as a panelist right now, but she is our business advisor, which you would be able to meet with her to discuss structuring your business in that entity. So when we provide the contact details, be sure to register with our office and we'll make sure that you will be able to consult with her to see if that's a best fit for your business. Charles asks, can you tell me the website address to complete the application to become MBE? So what we'll do is provide you information on how to get connected with us. If you are looking to do the application on your own, that would be through the state's Gateway website, which would be gateway.ohio.gov. That's where you'll log in and create an account for yourself. But as we walk through the process with you, not only will we help gather your documents, we would also like to walk you through the application. So be sure to connect with us with the information that's going to be provided so we can set up those meetings for you. Sean Williams, I'm going to make sure I'm in order here. Sean Williams asks, how can we receive info? Sorry here. One second. You guys are bringing them in pretty fast. All right. How can we receive info or PowerPoint documents that we just went over? So for one, this particular webinar is being recorded. So there will be a link provided to the YouTube channel so that you can view it at a later time if you like. And then also, like I was saying, the information we can share in our one-on-one consultations if you're able to connect with one of the specialists. How do I get into the certification program at your physical location, Mount Vernon? So we do provide some in-person meetings. So again, with the information that's going to be provided on connecting with us, you'll be able to schedule that time. From Sean Williams, what would be our next step for certification? Well, as I've said a few times, you definitely want to make sure that you collect the information in the next few slides on how to get in contact. I do want to stress registering with us first. That way we can easily track your success with us, as well as the interactions that you've had with all of our team members. And then from there, Danielle will look to see what your needs are. So be specific with those needs that you're providing, so that we know which specialist to get you in contact with. So we need to set up a meeting to start the process. That would probably be the best approach, just so that you're fully prepared to start the certification process. By all means, you are able to move forward with the process on your own, but you would want to connect with us for just that additional assistance and to ensure that there is a connection between your business, our office, and the state of Ohio. Does DoD provide resources to support smaller nonprofit corporations? We do still assist nonprofits. However, the certifications are for-profit businesses as well as the lending programs. So you would more than likely need to work with Cherie and possibly Hope for supplier opportunities, as well as any contract or grant opportunities. There will have to be some outside resources that we would have to pull in order to support those with nonprofit organizations. And while you all might be thinking of other questions that you are looking for, one thing I want to go back to a question of needing to contact us to get started. As I said, you don't necessarily need to go through with us through the process. It just helps, and one of the main reasons why it helps to go through our office is if you are in need for an expedited processing. Typically, once you have everything sent over to the state as far as your application and your documentation, the time frame to receive a decision should be no more than 90 days. However, if you're in the middle of applying for a loan, or if that requires a certification, or if you are bidding on a contract and there are a few entities that require a certification, then let us know. We are the only way that you would be able to expedite your process, so that 90-day time frame is cut down to 2 weeks instead, because of the special circumstance that you have with either a lending application or a bid project that you have. And how do you get in contact with Cherie? Yes. So I think since the questions are surrounding how do you get started and who do you contact, I think it's at this point in time best that we move forward with the contact information. So Danielle, would you like to take it from here?
Surely can. But before we do that, let's definitely make sure that you meet and greet our team virtually. First things first, we want to introduce to you virtually our regional director, Director Andrea Wilkes, who serves over us in the 18 different counties, making sure that we are present and accounted for and doing the work of the community. Next would be myself, Danielle Pierre. I am the program administrator for the Minority Business Assistance Center. As Rosita mentioned, I do assist with doing the intake here, and also just making sure we are in compliance and fully operating. We also have Heather Lanning, our financial coach, Rosita, Madison, and Kathy, our MBAC certification and outreach specialists, Cherie Wallace, our business advisor, and Hope Jackaway, who will be added here at a different time, our procurement specialist. All right. So first, a few of you are asking about information about the Department of Development or just the Minority Business Development Division. If you have an electronic device such as a cell phone, one thing we definitely want to do is give you access to their website, which also hosts an abundance of different resources for your businesses. So if you take your phone out and you scan or put your phone towards the QR code, it will take you directly to their website. Next, if you're interested in getting in contact with our offices, we are by appointment only. And that's just for a few different reasons because our specialists do dedicate time just for you to have that one-on-one appointment time. No interruption. So it is very important to schedule your appointments. But before you can schedule the appointments, one of the first pieces of information that we will need from you is for you to complete our simple intake registration form, which can also be found right on our website. And in just a moment, I will show you how you can navigate the website so you can be able to complete that form. And I can assist with quarterbacking you to the different specialists. Rosita made some different call outs, which is essentially being intentional and just clearly putting on that intake form what services you need, because that is a question that it will ask you. So whether you're in need of financial coaching, procurement opportunities, or certification assistance, it is definitely very important to indicate that on those forms so I can get you connected to the proper specialist. You can also send us an email at mbac@cul.org. I find this to be the most helpful, so I can just go ahead and send you the direct links to complete the registration form and even just scheduling as well. And let's take you to our website so you can learn how to navigate it.
While you do that, Danielle, we did have a question come up in the chat that I just wanted to quickly address. Oh, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Is there a due date for applying for certification? There is not. The only thing is to, as Kathy was mentioning earlier, you want to pay attention to the due dates for your tax filings because that is going to make a difference when and if you submit your application of what's going to be required. But there's absolutely no deadline, so we like to encourage those that are applying to not feel rushed and to take your time through the process so that we have the best information to provide to the state for a successful outcome.
All right, thank you. So in the chat, I did put our direct website link as well for you. With that, this is what that QR code will take you to. You'll land to our landing page where it just reiterate some of the information that you learned today, such as the counties that we serve, the different resources that we provide. And if you take a look here, it mentions completing the simple intake registration form. So again, that's one of the first pieces of information that is required to be able to go forward to receiving our free services to you. If you are a newer client who has not been serviced through our office, again, it's going to ask you to complete the intake registration form. Or if you have been connected with our office before and have completed the intake registration form, you can just select existing clients, request your services here. The difference between the two is one, this new client register here will take you to complete the intake registration form. And this is how you know you're on the right page. This is what it looks like here. It will ask you to identify your business information and all sorts of information. But at the very bottom, it goes here to indicate and ask you what are the services that you need. So you don't have to necessarily type them in because all you got to do is just click it and we'll go ahead and do that for you. So that is one thing that, again, and if you are an existing client, you've been here with us for some time, you can just click existing clients register here, and it will take you straight to the landing page to go ahead and um, select and book your appointment with our different specialists. It also goes into what services they provide as well. Let's see. Another thing here I think is very important that you'll see that the intake registration form is reiterated in several different times because it is important for you to complete here for us. And I'll take us back to our presentation.
All right, we have plenty of time. We're actually ahead of schedule. So if you'd like to ask any questions, feel free to do so in the chat. I guess at this time, I'll ask our panelists, our team members, if there's any information that they want to provide. This would be a great opportunity to do so. One thing I do want to reiterate is the process that Danielle just took you through to register with our office is going to be another great resource for you because it'll put you on the mailing list for our weekly newsletter. This is a newsletter that provides details regarding events such as the Lunch and Learn that you're on today, as well as our in-person boot camps, whether or not we'll be at other community events offering resources. And then there will also be information for webinars through other community members, educational opportunities, and possibly funding opportunities as well. So you definitely want to make sure that you register to receive that on a weekly basis. I do have a question here from Sally. Are these requirements the same as found on the .gov site? If you're referring to the state of Ohio's Department of Development, then yes, we would have to work through the process just as it's showing on that website. We are an extension of the Department of Development, so the information that you're receiving from that website would be the same that we're presenting here today. Also, I started the process before but did not complete it. Should I begin with the new intake form? And it looks like yes, you would want to do the new process just so that we make sure that we have all the details needed to provide you the best resources.
Yes, Danielle. Hi, Danielle. I think that was an excellent question to ask. Yes, for those ones who were existing clients and have been serviced through us, it absolutely is a good information, good practice. If it's been some time that you have been with us, your information may have updated, such as addresses, phone numbers, or emails. And just to make sure we have the right information, such as I am replying to you and sending you the information that you need to start with the certifications or scheduling, then I am sending it to the right email address too. And also, if our specialists need to contact you, they're going to these profiles, and this is where they are accessing the information to contact you. So yes, please, if it has been some time since you've been with us, or if you know that you have updated your information, go ahead and take that time to complete that registration form for us again.
I'd also like to add to that, please be as thorough as possible in the information that you provide. The data that there is requested in there is something that helps us continue to get funding to support these programs to provide to you. So ensure that if you have your industry code, you can include that. If you have employees, that you include those numbers. If you're doing any government contracting currently, that you're including that. All of that information is super important for us to gather to be able, one, to support you and know your business fully, because we are hoping to be your trusted advisors here, but also for us to continue to receive funding to continue to support your local businesses. So thanks.
All right. So as we are wrapping things up, another thing that is very important for us is just your feedback on today's session. We want to know if it was helpful to you or if it wasn't helpful for you, or some things that you would like to see from us in the future. Your feedback is absolutely appreciated, and we are grateful for it as well. It helps us even strengthen our presentation skills. So definitely please take the time to complete the survey. I made it really nice and simple for you with a few yes and no questions and a couple open-ended questions. So again, go ahead and take the time to complete that by scanning the QR code. once this meeting is over, it will also send you a link to this QR code to the survey to fill out. And I will also send you a follow-up email, which again reiterates completing the survey. It will also have today's recording session for your easy access. And it will also have the previous recorded session about the financial documents that are needed for capital or certifications. You'll have all access to this. And lastly, again, how to reach us. So this information will be sent to you in a nice recap email. And I see we have a couple questions here too. Just a few thank yous. Thank you all for taking the time to attend this here. I'll let it see if there's any more questions before I help close us off.
Danielle, I'd like to say something.
Okay.
I just want to say that this is a lot of information that was given to you all. And then when you go to look at this checklist, it is a lot and it can be overwhelming. And one of the things that we tell our clients is that you breathe and you take your time. Don't overwhelm yourself with thinking that you have to get it all done in one day, because it's not, you don't get it all in one day. So take it and break it into sections and get what you can, breathe, take your time, then move on to the next. And that's one of the things that we like to tell each and every one for you guys to do. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for that guidance. I definitely think that those are some excellent things to reiterate and just share with everyone here, and just know that the Columbus Minority Business Assistance Center is here to support you. We thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us here, and we look forward to continuing to do this Lunch and Learn series, just to take an hour out of your day so you can continue to master your business and be successful. Thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you, everyone.
You.
You.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.